How you doing, Kale?
Hey, how are you, mate?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
It's good.
I just
Good to hear.
kind of clocked in and saw you're live here, so I thought we could have a chat, mate.
Yeah, let's have a chat. Fantastic. Are you at least 18 and are you a Christian?
Yep, I'm 39 and I'm a believer. Been a believer all my whole life. Yep.
Fantastic. And are you aware that Jesus was a liar and a fraud?
No, he was not. He's the son of God. He's the son of God.
Sure. What's your evidence for that?
He is the what's the evidence for the oxygen and air that we breathe? You can't see it, right?
I can quite literally touch it. Did you know that?
You can't touch air.
You
put your hand in the air.
You're touching it right. You're touching it right now. You're breathing it, and when the temperature drops below 32 degrees, you can quite literally see it.
And you know that you can also touch Jesus as well.
Sure.
You can touch
Jesus.
Show
me.
Jesus.
Okay,
Jesus
tell me where I can touch him.
Sure, it's in your human spirit.
I mean, I know that Christian pastors are fond of touching people, but it's usually children. I want to know how we can touch Jesus.
God has given us all a spirit.
Yeah,
not a physical.
Yeah,
not
I'm
a
sure you
physical
believe
thing that's in
that.
the body.
Yes, I know you believe that. I want to know the evidence that Jesus is touchable.
No. You can touch him with your spirit, right? So just like
there's no such thing as spirits,
right? You have feelings.
Feelings are not spiritual.
You have feelings of like. But I'm just saying, just let me hold on just 1 second. So like, you have feelings of love, and you have feelings of hate, and you have feelings of anger, and you have feelings of all these different feelings, right?
Sure
but you
do.
can't see those feelings. You can't touch those feelings.
Yes, you can.
But they are real. Those feelings are real.
Yes, they are real.
Love
Do you know?
real.
Do you know how those feelings get transacted in your brain?
How?
It's transmitted via chemicals. We can actually measure those chemicals. We can actually tell if somebody is experiencing those emotions by measuring their brain waves and their chemicals in their body. And we can actually alter them by giving them the right chemicals. So some people are born with a bad chemical imbalance, and so we right that imbalance using medication. So the feelings and the emotions and all that nonsense you're talking about, those are just chemistry.
But you can't see it.
Yes, you can.
See it.
You can.
Can't
Yep.
see love.
Yes, you can.
You can't see.
Yes, I just
hate.
told you how.
You can see the actions of it.
Yes.
So here's a quick question.
You can see quite literally the biological workings that cause it to be. You can measure it.
What year is it this? What year is it this year? What year is it? Just real quick.
It's 2024.
What? Since what?
CE, Common Era.
Okay. Why isn't it the year 68,285,312?
Because
we
Julius
measure
Caesar
the
changed the time. Are you aware that it was the Roman emperor that changed the timeline?
No. Well, the fact is that we.
Yeah, I know you don't know it. Okay, well that's what happened. It was Julius Caesar who actually changed the timeline that created the year zero. It was slightly modified in the 1500s by Pope Gregory. So that's not a good argument for. It's not a good argument for Jesus.
You're barely letting me argue because you cut me off all the time. But okay, so you don't believe. So it's the year that Julius Caesar created. Okay, cool. So when someone hits their foot on the ground or something, and they say, "Oh, Jesus Christ," or they say, "God damn it, who is Jesus Christ?"
They don't say that in India.
No.
What do you think they? What do you think they say in India?
And but I'm just saying in English.
Kale, you're making dog shit arguments. I need you to calm down and actually listen to my question. What do you think they shout in India when they stub their toe?
I don't know. Probably. I actually don't know because I haven't heard it. I've only heard the English version.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. It certainly isn't. It certainly, Coleby, just calm down. It certainly isn't Jesus Christ. Do you know why we shout Jesus Christ when we stub our toe in the Western world?
Because they use it as a swear word.
Because it's part of our. Because it's part of our common vernacular.
But who is Jesus Christ?
He's a liar and a fraud. That's what I just said. Jesus is a liar and a fraud. He's a guy that fulfilled exactly 0 messianic prophecies and failed his own predictions.
So if he came back here's a quick question. If he came back, okay, let's just say hypothetically in your situation, because you don't believe in him, that's okay. I'm not here to try to convert you. If he came back today and said, I am Jesus, and he came in flesh like a human, just like you and me, and he said, I am Jesus, I died for your sins 2,000 years ago, or approximately 2,000 years ago, okay, I died on the cross, as you've probably heard your whole life. Would you believe in him then, if you saw him?
How would I know if it's Jesus?
I'm just saying, would you believe it if he said, look, here's my hands, there's the two nails in my hands.
Colby, did you hear my question?
Yeah.
What was it?
You said, how would you know he's Jesus?
Yeah, how would I know it's Jesus? Yep.
Because if he came back and he said in the flesh, and you could just tell, like, this guy is not normal, he is something out of this world, like he is completely different to anything I've ever seen before in my life. This is completely. Yep. This guy is different. The guy is not.
Okay,
normal.
so how do I know if it's not the devil disguised as an angel of light?
Wow, that's a good question. But just hypothetically speaking, I mean, I know you're here for an argument.
I know it's a good question. I want an answer to it. How do I know it's actually Jesus and not the devil?
I'm just saying, if he gave you a feeling that this was real and he was Jesus, and you just knew deep down in your heart that was Jesus, just like you know deep down in your heart that your mother is your mother and your father is your father.
Yeah,
you know
I know deep down in my heart that Jesus is a liar and a fraud. So what?
Well, if that's what you believe, and that's something that you don't want to ever have an open mind to possibly changing.
Why do you think I don't have an open mind?
I don't know. I don't know you.
You see how your religious viewpoint causes you to think negatively about others that you don't know?
I'm not being negative, man. I'm not.
You see how you're making assumptions about my character?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
okay.
You don't have an open heart. I didn't say you don't. I
okay.
You don't have
well, why would you say that if you didn't think that my mind was closed? Why would you say that?
Because everything I'm saying, you're arguing with.
Yes, I know, because I have facts and you don't.
Well, that's your facts in your mind, and I have facts in my mind.
You haven't even heard one of my facts yet. You haven't even asked me for them.
I'm just trying to answer all your arguments that you have against what I'm trying to say to you.
Sure. So I'll go all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. Are you aware that Jesus told lies?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so you're not aware. So I'll just help you out. I'll put it on the screen for you. We're going to go to Matthew 16, verse 27 through 28 first. Jesus says to his disciples, "For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everybody for what has been done. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." And did you know what happened to all those people standing there?
That hasn't happened yet.
Do you know what happened to all these people standing there?
That verse that you're talking about right now.
Colby, I need you to tighten up. Do you know what happened to everyone that Jesus was speaking to?
What happened to them?
They all died.
Yeah.
Okay, now what does it say in verse 28? Can you read it for me?
Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Yeah, and that was a lie because they're all dead.
Well, I think what you're misunderstanding is what the Lord is talking about here in verse 28 is when he comes back as a man, and there will be you've heard of it before, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
You've heard of all that sort of stuff.
I know. We agree.
So what he's talking about right here in verse 28 hasn't happened yet.
I know. That's why he's a liar.
So no, he's saying truly I say.
Kale, I need you to sharpen up. Kale,
hold on, mate.
Kale,
let me.
Kale, what was the deadline that Jesus gave in verse 28?
There are some standing here who will not taste death, which is you and me. We have not tasted death yet.
Yeah,
You and I are still alive.
Yep.
And before they see the
yes,
they have not tasted death before they see the Son.
Yes. And did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, then
what he's saying is, he's saying to everyone that is living right now that
no, he's not.
I will come back to the earth. And
no, he's not.
Come back to the earth.
Who is he talking to? Kale, stop it. Who is he talking to?
No, man. You and me.
He's not. He's talking to his disciples. This is a conversation. There's a conversation he's having with his disciples, and he tells his disciples, "Truly I tell you, there are some standing here." Do you know who was standing there? Were you standing there?
Yeah, I mean, I was not.
Was I standing there?
Probably not.
So he's not talking to us. He says there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. But they all tasted death. Every one of the people standing there is now dead.
Well, he could also be talking hypothetically about people that are on the earth right now.
No, it's not hypothetically.
Not.
He says the people standing there. The people standing there.
Yeah. So, hold on. Sorry, I'm driving. Truly, I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death.
That's right.
So, I mean, so basically what he's saying is, what that verse is saying is he's talking about believers that are alive right now.
No.
Believers that
Wrong again. He said there are some currently standing here. They're not talking about anybody today. He's not talking about anybody 1,000 years from now. He's talking about people literally standing in front of him.
Okay, I've got a question. You don't.
All right, let me try this really slowly. What is the word? What is the word here? Just stop talking. What does the word here mean? Do you know what the word here means? You're muted. You can't ramble while you're muted. I need you to actually focus up and engage with the text. We're not going to pivot. Crash Out's wild. We literally just got started. He's already got diarrhea of the mouth. Corvin with the $10 super chat coming in. Corvin says the deconstruction zone is the bomb, much needed in response to the coming mega theocracy. I really appreciate that. I don't know if I am the bomb, but I'm going to be bringing as many people out of this cult as humanly possible since we've got a cult leader in the White House. Caleb, did you figure out how to work the mute button yet? Hello, Caleb. Are you still yapping, Caleb? Do you even know that you're muted? Yeah, I did mute you, Caleb, because you won't shut up. You can unmute yourself. That's the way this works. I mute you because you can't let me get a word in edgewise. And then when I stop talking, you can unmute yourself and respond to my question. So,
okay, what's your question?
In the passage, he says there are some standing here. What does the word here mean?
It means currently in front of me.
That's right.
Tomorrow, yesterday.
Yeah. Is everyone standing in front of him when he spoke dead?
Is everyone standing in front of him when he spoke what?
Are they all dead?
Yep.
Okay, then he lied because he said there are some standing here who will not taste death before he comes back.
No, because you're taking it in a literal sense. You're taking it like...
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's whenever you don't like what it says, it's not literal. It's a metaphor. Okay, so tell me what what's the metaphor here?
Can I just ask you a quick question?
No, you can't. What's the metaphor here? We're talking about the text. I'm not going to let you pivot. We're talking about the lies in your book. So what's the metaphor here?
Do you believe in the Bible or not? Yes
Obviously not. If I believed in the Bible, I would be a deluded Christian like you. I'm asking you, what is the metaphor here? Caleb, stop. You're not, Caleb, Caleb, stop talking. I am not going to let you pivot away from the text. This is a conversation about your text. So, you're saying this isn't literally true. It's a metaphor. So what's it a metaphor for? That's right, Smallzilla. In Doug we trust. Hail Doug. I did. I do got my Holy Spirit decoder ring, so I can know which words don't actually mean words, because we know that's the only trick they have, is the words don't actually mean what the words mean. Which is why I always say, without lies, Christianity dies. That's all there is to it. You can't believe in this nonsense unless you have the ability to change the meaning of all the words.
You won't believe it unless you want to believe it, right?
I don't.
If you don't want to believe it, you won't.
Kale, I don't want to have a meta commentary about what you think my personality or my brainwave is. I want to talk about what the text says. Does the text say something that's true or untrue?
That's true.
Okay, so when did Jesus come back with the power of the angels?
He's talking about us right now on the earth.
He's not. He said there are some standing here. You already said it. Now you're just lying. Don't you know that lying is against the 10 Commandments? That's one of the big 10.
You don't want to.
It's always capping for Christ in here. These Christians can't do anything but tell lies.
I'm not lying. I'm saying
you're literally lying,
and that's okay.
You said that some standing here meant the people standing there. You already said it. So we'll just start from the beginning. Verse 28. Truly I tell you, who's you in this sentence?
Everyone that are believers or people that are there. Yep.
It's the people that are there. It says there are some standing here. There are some standing here. He's addressing the disciples, and he says there are some standing here, meaning the people literally standing there who will not taste death. Did everyone standing there taste death?
Yep.
Okay. Did he come back with the power of the angels and judge the earth?
He has not done that yet.
Then it's a lie. There we go. Easy enough.
No, it's not.
The cognitive dissonance here is so embarrassing. This is the most embarrassing thing I've seen in a long time. It says what it says, but it definitely doesn't mean what it says. What does it mean?
Yeah. Like I said, it's talking about this people on the earth right now as well.
No, it's not. Does he say anything about people in the future?
So that's the problem.
Does he say anything? Does he say, because you're lying, Kale? Show me in the text. Kale, show me in the text where it says anything about people in the future.
My name's Caleb.
I don't care what your name is. Show me in the future. Show me where it says anything about the future people.
Yep. What it's saying is, truly I say to you, so he's talking to his disciples, right?
Yep.
There are some standing here who will not taste the best before they see the Son of Man. So he's talking about them, but he's also talking about people now.
Oh, show me where. Earth, right? Which word is referring to people now?
What's the next verse? What's 29?
Which word is about the people now?
Read the full chapter.
That's the end of the chapter. It's the last word in the chapter.
What about verse 1 in what book is that in?
Chapter 17 in book of Matthew starts the transfiguration.
Yeah. Look, man, I'll tell you what.
So
you need the Lord.
Show me.
You need Jesus, mate. Everyone.
You need logic, common sense, and to stop lying. I asked you a very easy question. Where in here, what word in this passage says anything about future people? Oh, wait.
You muted me again.
Yep.
It doesn't.
Yeah, so I want you to actually address the question. What word in here references people of the future?
To answer your question, doesn't matter what I say, you won't believe it because you're just trying to argue with me. And I've already explained it to you. It's talking about
you didn't explain anything.
That are on the earth right now.
You're just making up lies. You're saying the text says something it doesn't say.
There'll be people on the earth right now, like you and me. Maybe we won't live to see the Son of Man. Maybe we'll die. And maybe our sons and daughters, maybe our grandparents.
Does he say that there will be people living in the future, or does he say that there are some standing here now?
It says there are some standing here now.
Yeah, and what's going to happen to the people standing there now before he comes back?
What's going to happen to what?
What's going to happen? What's the end of the timeline? How do we know when Jesus is going to make his second coming?
No one knows. That's what the Bible says.
He literally says right here, truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man. So he says, some of you will still be alive when I make my second coming.
Yeah. And he's talking about us right now.
He's not talking about us. He says some standing here. He doesn't say somebody in the future will die. He says there are some standing here who will not taste death, but they're all gone.
They are all gone.
Which means Jesus lied.
No, he did not.
Okay, we'll try this really slowly. All right. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not die before they see the Son of Man. Okay. Did everyone standing there die?
Yes.
Is that before he came back?
He is saying...
Is that before he came back?
He hasn't come back to the earth.
Is that before he came back? Did they die before?
They have died.
Okay, so then it is a lie. He said, there are some standing here now who will still be alive when I come back. And they're not alive. They're all dead.
They are.
Which means it is a lie.
No. It's not.
Yes, that's how that works. If I said, Caleb, there's somebody talking. There's 5 people in a room. Some of these people will die before you have grandchildren. Now, if it happens that none of them die and then you have grandchildren, that's a lie because none of them died. You see how timelines work?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and the timeline here for his second coming is before all of them are dead. Do you understand?
That's what he said. Yep.
Yeah, I know that's what he said. He said, "I will come back and I will judge the world before everybody standing here has died." And they all died and he didn't come back.
He's referring to like the world as it is before he comes back.
He's not.
There will be people.
Did he say anything about people in the future?
You know what? The Bible doesn't give you every.
Caleb,
account.
show
You can tell
me in the
every
text
word
where it says anything about future people.
No, it doesn't. But you got.
Okay, so then you're just lying. You're just making stuff up. I don't know why you feel compelled to lie. Caleb, do you want to go to the next slide since you're cooked on this one or no?
Let's go.
All right, cool. This is John 3:13. Jesus says, "No one has ascended into heaven except for the one who descended from heaven, the Son of Man." So Jesus is saying that he's the only one that's ever ascended into heaven.
That's right. Yep.
Right. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay.
The reason it is everyone now that has died, they are not. There's no one in heaven right now. Because how do you get to heaven? You get to heaven after Judgment Day. There's going to be a Judgment Day, the great throne of
That's
Christ.
not what it says. So what we have in 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 11, there's the story of Elijah and Elisha being parted.
Yep.
You got to take care of your baby. We can't have babies on the live. It'll get banned. According to the text in 2 Kings, it says, "As they continued walking and talking, a chariot of fire and horses of fire separated the two of them, and Elijah ascended in a whirlwind into heaven." So, according to the text, Elijah went into heaven, which means Jesus was wrong again. Skits, good to see you, buddy. Big W, Skits. Good to see you, man. Guys, we gotta share this live out and get the algorithm back on. Get me on the good side of the algorithm again, man. After getting my account banned this last time, it really did a number on my situation. I can't get opposition. I got nobody in the guest box. The guest just dropped out. He must have had to take care of his child apparently.